The Haunted Library. Nestled in the heart of a sleepy New England town was an old library, a grand structure of stone and ivy that had stood for over a century. The Hastings Library was a relic of the past, its shelves filled with dusty tomes and forgotten histories. It was a place where time seemed to stand still and where the whispers of the past echoed through the dimly lit halls. Evelyn Parker, a young librarian with a passion for the arcane, had recently been hired to organize the library's vast collection. She relished the solitude, the quiet hours spent among the books, and the sense of mystery that pervaded the place. But as she delved deeper into the library's holdings, she began to notice strange occurrences. It started with the books. One evening, as she was cataloging a collection of old manuscripts, she discovered a book that wasn't listed in the library's inventory. It was a leather-bound volume, its cover adorned with intricate designs and strange symbols. There was no title, no author, just an eerie sense of foreboding. Curious, Evelyn opened the book. The pages were blank. She flipped through them, expecting to find something, anything, that would explain its presence. But there was nothing. With a sigh, she set the book aside and continued her work. The next morning, she found the book open on her desk. She was certain she had closed it the night before. Puzzled, she picked it up and noticed something strange. Words had appeared on the previously blank pages. Her hands trembled as she read the text. The shadows of the past awaken, and with them, the horrors long forgotten. The librarian who dares to uncover the truth will face the wrath of the unknown. Evelyn felt a chill run down her spine. She was alone in the library, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. She closed the book and put it back on the shelf, trying to dismiss her unease. But the words haunted her thoughts. Over the next few days, more books began to write themselves. Each one contained horrifying predictions, all seemingly directed at Evelyn. They spoke of death and despair, of dark secrets buried within the library's walls. The books seemed to know her deepest fears, and their words seeped into her dreams, turning them into nightmares. One evening, as a storm raged outside, Evelyn decided to confront the source of her torment. She gathered the self-writing books and took them to the library's basement, a place she had avoided since her arrival. The basement was a labyrinth of shelves and forgotten relics, the air thick with dust and decay. As she descended the stairs, the temperature dropped, and the dim light of her lantern cast eerie shadows on the walls. She reached the bottom and hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. Taking a deep breath, she moved forward, determined to find answers. In the center of the basement was a large, ornate desk. On it lay an ancient, leather-bound book similar to the one she had first discovered. But this one was different. Its cover was marked with a symbol she recognized from her studies, a sigil of protection, used in ancient rituals to ward off evil. Evelyn opened the book, and to her horror, found that it was filled with detailed accounts of deaths and disappearances linked to the library. The most recent entries were about her. The final pages were blank, waiting to be filled. A sudden noise made her jump. She turned to see a shadowy figure standing at the edge of the lamplight. It was tall and gaunt, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The figure reached out a hand, and Evelyn felt a cold grip around her heart. "You should not have come here," the figure whispered, its voice like the rustling of dead leaves. "The library is cursed, and now you are part of its history." Evelyn tried to speak, but no words came out. The figure stepped closer, and she felt an overwhelming sense of dread. She looked down at the book, its pages now filled with a new prediction. The librarian's curiosity will be her undoing. She will join the lost souls of the library, her spirit trapped within its walls for eternity. Desperation surged through her. She grabbed the book and ran, the figure's laughter echoing behind her. She raced up the stairs, the air growing warmer as she neared the main floor. She burst into the reading room, slamming the door behind her. She knew she couldn't keep running. The library had ensnared her, and the only way to break free was to confront its curse head-on. She opened the book one last time, scanning its pages for a solution. Among the dark predictions and horrifying tales, she found a single passage of hope. The curse can be broken by the one who is willing to sacrifice their own soul to save the others. The librarian must perform the ritual of cleansing, using the ancient sigil to banish the darkness. Evelyn's hands shook as she traced the sigil on the cover of the book. She knew what she had to do. Gathering the books that had tormented her, she arranged them in a circle on the library floor. She placed the ancient book in the center and began to chant the words of the ritual. As she spoke, the air around her grew colder, and the shadows seemed to writhe in agony. The ghostly figure appeared once more, its eyes burning with fury. But Evelyn continued, her voice growing stronger with each word. The sigil began to glow, and a blinding light filled the room. The figure screamed, its form disintegrating into the air. The books burst into flames, their pages turning to ash. Evelyn felt a searing pain in her chest, but she didn't stop. She poured all her strength into the ritual, determined to break the curse. With a final, earth-shattering cry, the light exploded outward, and everything went black. When Evelyn awoke, she was lying on the floor of the library. The books were gone, and the oppressive atmosphere had lifted. She felt weak but alive. She had done it. She had broken the curse. But as she stood up, she noticed something strange. Her reflection in the glass doors of the library looked different, pale, almost translucent. She reached out to touch the glass, and her hand passed through it. Evelyn realized with dawning horror that she had succeeded in freeing the library from its curse, but at the cost of her own soul. She was now a part of the library, a guardian spirit bound to its walls for eternity. And as the new librarian arrived the next day, Evelyn watched from the shadows, her presence unseen but ever vigilant, determined to protect the library and its secrets from those who would disturb its haunted peace.